And we are on the air. Welcome to the movieboozer.com virtual pub. I'm currently subbing in for host Ken Ekman. My name is Bill Leon. And this is Bill Arsenault. I'm joined by...
Hey, everyone.
I am in a different location this week, and I'm in a very squeaky chair, so excuse me if you hear noises from this chair between then and now. I can't help that so much. I move around a lot when I talk, so sorry about that. That is that's just something that has to be dealt with. The thing I wanted to play, the intro.
movieboozer.com virtual pub. Stay at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Movie Boozer, movies measured by the pint.
Very awesome. Very cool.
Yeah. No,
and also, just because I think it's funny, I thought it would be hilarious if I played this next clip, because Bill and I are both hosting the show, and of course, both of our names are Bill. This is from the South Park episode post-election, so it's like 2 weeks old at this point. But if you don't know, it's Bill Clinton and Bill Cosby singing a song about a gentleman's club. It's very funny, so I'm going to play that right now, just for the shits and giggles.
I'm Bill, and I'm Bill, and together we're Bill and Bill. Two birds, a feather coming to your screw. Gonna show you all about what gentlemen do. When you're not quite sure how you feel, ask Bill and Bill. Say, Bill, yes, Bill, would you like to join my gentleman's club? You know I would, Bill.
Oh, that's great, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I guess Bill Arsenault dropped off there. Yeah, it really actually looks like he's dropped off. So I will be taking the reins and talk about movies that I've not really new release movies. There's a specific new release movie that I will get to in a bit. Are we back?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Oh, okay. You were
I
muted.
put my headphones on, and apparently it turned the mic off on my phone.
It might have thought that your headphones were a microphone.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It must have been the microphone jack or something. I don't. I'm going to grab my Samsung headphones. I think those are the ones that work best. But go ahead.
Bill Arsenault saw a movie this week, a new film that he has not yet to review on the show, which we're going to talk about first on the docket. I'm not familiar with it. It's
okay.
Called Allied, right?
Yes, it is called Allied. It is a Robert Zemeckis film.
His follow-up to what was it called? The Walk?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I didn't see that film. I wanted to see that film, and the fact that I haven't yet is just a testament to the fact that it's not on Netflix yet. But, hey! Keep that down up there! So the reason I haven't watched The Walk yet, and I've wanted to see The Walk, is because I love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he is great.
You're a big Don John fan, aren't you?
I enjoyed the hell out of Don John, which is weird. And a lot of people have kind of fought back against critics appraising it, which I'm kind of confused about. I don't understand why.
Yeah, Don John's a good movie. I mean,
I agree. I think Don John is a good movie.
It was written and directed very well by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was acted very well by him and his other actors and cast and everything. It was a funny story until the end, when it became more of a drama, which was good because that's where it was leading towards. It was a fine movie. It wasn't the best movie of the year, but it was a fine movie.
I put it in my top 10 just because I appreciated the lengths that it went to kind of present present a romantic story in an obscure way.
Yeah.
And that's
My only nitpick about the film was that it was his laptop. Because every time he turned his laptop on to watch porn, it would make the Apple sound, the boom. But it was clearly not an Apple computer.
Oh, God.
So that was just a stupid little nitpick of mine. I understood what he was going after, though.
So what is this film called? Affiliated?
Yes, it's called it's Allied.
Allied.
It takes place in the early years of World War II. I believe it starts in 1942 in Casablanca, Morocco. The movie follows Brad Pitt, who plays this Canadian Allied Forces spy who teams up with a French spy played by Marion Cotillard, both of their jobs are to assassinate the ambassador of Morocco or Casablanca to the Nazis. It's their job to take him out and then move on to the next job and so on and so forth. And they spend a week in Morocco getting to know one another and, trying to establish themselves as a married couple, which they're not yet. That's just who they're portraying themselves as, so they can get closer to the Nazi party, so they can get invited to a celebration, so they can assassinate the ambassador.
Now that actress, Marion Cotillard, what was she in previously? Like, I feel like
she played Talia al Ghul in The Dark Knight Rises.
Right. Okay, so I've definitely seen her in that.
She's been in a lot of foreign films. She was in Inception. She played Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in Inception.
Okay, I've never watched all of Inception, so that movie kind of bores me.
Really? Okay.
Comment below.
Yeah, for real, right? No, she was in Inception. She won an Oscar for La Vie en Rose. That was like a movie from years prior about I forget the name of the singer she played, but she played an old-timey classic European singer, and it was apparently a great performance. I didn't see it, but that's what rocketed her to, like once you win an Oscar, you end up acting in all sorts of films. So that's kind of what happened with that. But she's ended up doing a lot of risky stuff. She did a movie where she played a woman with no legs.
Do you know the title of that one?
I forget the name of that movie, but she did some risky stuff in that movie. The woman wasn't born with no legs. She lost her legs in some kind of an accident, and it's about her picking up her life again, and her husband and their relationship, that kind of thing. All I remember about that movie is a sex scene with her without legs, and it was kind of like it was a little awkward, but at the same time it was also very romantic. So it's kind of
right. I can see that working.
Yeah, it can work. I mean, it's not the immediate thing you think about when you think about a romantic sex scene. You think about someone with full body, but she pulled it off. They pulled it off. She's done a lot of really good roles. This movie, she's a French spy who teams up with Brad Pitt, who's a Canadian spy, but they're both, Allied forces. And she sets up this whole elaborate ruse with the local Germans and the local Nazi party people about her quote-unquote husband. Brad Pitt starts the movie by parachuting into the desert and then jumping into a car and then driving off to meet his contact, who is Marion Cotillard. And she tells him, okay, I've told everyone that you are my husband and that you're minor and that you are French, and then so on. So, she tells him basically everything that she's told everyone else about him. And so it's his job now to pretend to be that. And they spend the first half of the movie, which is basically over a week's time, getting acquainted and playing the spy game with everyone, trying to, fit in, and so there's a lot of high tension, a lot of suspense going on with that. And when it comes down to their scene where they actually have to accomplish their mission, which is to assassinate the Moroccan ambassador to the Nazi Party, they are consumed with anxiety about it. They're like, they have no qualms about killing this guy, but they're like, we might not make it out alive, So they're kind of like almost shaking a little bit, like, and it's kind of funny to see Brad Pitt doing that because usually he's so calm and collected in these movies, like in Fury or in Inglorious Bastards, these World War II movies.
It's funny that you mentioned those two specifically because one, I almost every review of Fury that I heard was like, he's playing the same character as Inglorious Bastards, but more straight and less comedic.
I guess I wouldn't even call his performance in Inglorious Bastards comedic. Mm-hmm. It certainly was it was a bit of a caricature.
Yes.
But it wasn't like funny. It was.
It could be funny. It could be funny. Like, I mean,
it wasn't intentional.
A dark kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess it was kind of like that. But here he plays this guy who has experience with the war, who's been, operating and doing different missions and stuff. But he's still very much a guy who's worried about his own life and his future and everything. He's not Captain America, I mean, he is all for the mission, but he's not, he's worried, and so is Marion Cotillard. She's like, we might not get out of this alive, and he starts telling her about his life, and she tells him a little bit about her life, and so that's how they end up connecting, and they complete their mission, and they decide to marry each other and move to London, like marry each other for real this time. And so they do that. They fall in love. They get married.
Not get married for kicks. Not get married for fake, but get married for real. Oh my god!
Get married for real. Yes. Shut up. No, they get married for real. They go to London, get married for real, and 9 months later they have a baby. In the middle of a London air raid, they have a baby. Because London got bombed, during the war. There were a lot of air raids there. And in the midst of one, they're delivering a baby. They're rushing her through the hospital. Bombs are going off everywhere. It's all dramatic. It's super, And I also want to stress, too, this movie is visually rich. Zemeckis has a great eye for and flair for the cinematic language, like how to construct a scene, how to raise the stakes, how to tell a story and move everything along at a good pace. He's always had that ability. He's a marksman, I call him, more than a craftsman. He just knows how to compose stuff. It's just at a certain point it becomes kind of silly. For example, the scene where they have sex for the first time during the Morocco mission, they're in a car in the middle of the desert, and there's a sandstorm blowing over them. So everything's very chaotic, It's like there's sand everywhere. It's blowing all over the car. They're inside the car. They're going at it with each other, And the outside environment is matching the inside environment. And so then later, when she has the baby, which is in and of itself a very violent, thing to happen, a baby coming out of you, there's all this violence going on outside. There's bombs going off. It's very, compelling and dangerous, and oh my God, it's intense. And then later in the movie, something else happens, and it matches exactly what's going on internally with what's going on externally. So it's like some Zemeckis, felt like, okay, every scene that I do, I have to contrast it outwardly as well as internally, with what the characters are feeling. And that's good. Don't get me wrong. That makes for good filmmaking. It's just he did it so much that it's almost like they were overcompensating for something. And I think that something was a lack of suspense for the second half of the film, which is when He's settled down. Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard are settled down in London. He's still working, for the agency and everything, and he's told that they suspect his wife of being a German spy all along, and that he has 72 hours to figure out if she is or not, in which case, if he does figure it out and that she is a spy, he has to kill her, which is kind of an odd mission. I don't think they would ever put a husband in that position, but maybe they would because it's a war. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that's a tough call. Like, do you think the screenwriter was just like, I'll just arbitrarily make this decision. I don't care if they wouldn't make that call or not.
I for the sake of the movie, it works because you can assume that this is a very these are rough times. It's World War II. This is the war to end all wars, essentially.
Right.
That was the feeling, anyways, at the time, and I guess still is to many people. And there were almost no rules. Everything was on the table. So, this was like life or death. You got to take out the Germans or the Nazis, and you got to take them out hard. And so Brad Pitt, his character is going through this crisis where he's like, okay, is my wife a spy? Does she really love me, or is she, playing me for a fool? But she had my baby, so what does that mean? And this and that. So he has to basically trace her history, by going to meet people who've met her in the past on past missions to see if she stole this identity or if that's actually her or what. And eventually, when whatever happens, it feels kind of deflated. This second half, the first half when they're in Morocco was great because there was genuine stakes involved. It was like they could very well die. It was a very risky mission. But then later, it's like it becomes a domestic drama.
Right. Okay. Well,
and it's like it goes down a couple notches. You know what I mean?
How does this compare to Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Well,
if you talk about it like that, this is marriage.
No, that was a total action movie. So through and through.
Right. Yeah.
It had some domesticated drama in it, but it wasn't on the same level. This is more like. There are some thrills in the second half, but it's more subdued and sleepy. I didn't want to go to sleep when I was watching the movie. I was, genuinely, with it throughout the whole thing, but I wasn't as captivated with the second half as I was with the first half of the story. And then the finale kind of left me rolling my eyes a little bit, the last few moments of the film, that's how they decided to end their movie. Should we even care about spoilers? Is that a big deal, or?
I don't care. Spoilers from this point out. Any listeners or viewers?
Spoilers. Okay. All right. So basically, Brad Pitt goes to France. He's got 72 hours to figure out if his wife is a spy or not. He's not supposed to investigate. He's just supposed to follow orders, but he's going to investigate anyways. And see if he can rescue her if she is, or if she isn't, he can prove her innocence, that kind of thing. So he goes to France behind enemy lines, basically, and he meets up with the resistance, and they find someone who she had met once, supposedly, during the early days of the resistance, and this person is in a local jail for being a drunk. So he goes to visit the guy, and he's like, is this, Marion, whatever, is this her? And he's like, yes, it's her. I know her. She plays the piano very well. And he's like, the piano? Because he's never heard her play the piano before. So he's thinking okay, this guy's telling the truth, but I have to get my wife to play the fucking piano in order to, prove who she is. So he goes back home, gets her in front of a piano, and she's like, I can't play this. And so it's revealed that she, in fact, did steal this identity. She is a German spy, but she tried getting out of that life way back when. She was a spy early on, but not when she met Brad Pitt, or maybe when she met Brad Pitt, she still was one, but she decided to get out of that when they fell in love.
Right.
And she reveals basically that she is a spy, but only through coercion. Basically, their nanny turns out to be a German spy as well, and she, the nanny, has been using the baby as collateral, or as not collateral, but as kind of like a weapon against the mom, against Marion Cotillard, to do their bidding. She's basically like, "I'll kill your fucking baby if you don't, give us information."
What's
And
collateral ransom? Yeah, that's
ransom. Okay, there you go.
kill
And
the baby.
so Brad Pitt goes to the nanny's house and indiscriminately shoots her in the face. The nanny's like in her 60s or 70s or something. She's like this sweet old lady, and he's like, "You're a fucking spy," and she's like, "Heil Hitler," and he just shoots her in the face.
Oh shit!
Like, she was a true believer, apparently. Like, she wasn't just doing her job. She was, like a true Nazi.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. And then,
ooh, political, topical. All right, continue.
alt-right. Oh, God. Yeah, the alt-Reich. How about that? So he goes to see another person who's a jeweler who also turns out to be a spy, and he fucking kills his ass. And he thinks he's closed the circuit, so to speak. He's closed the loop of who the spies were, and he's like, "I can prove her innocence now. She was being used by these people." So his boss, he decides to go take a plane, and he and his wife and his child are just going to leave. They're just going to find some place in a neutral ground and just live. But he can't get the fucking plane to start, and his boss comes up to him. And this is in the rain, by the way. So, of course, it's going to be a very depressing sequence because, like I said before, everything internal has to be outwardly expressed. Big sandstorm, big sex scene. Violent birth, violent airstrike. Depressing sequence, rain. You know what I mean? So, can you hear me? Bill Leon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear you for a second, so I couldn't tell if your mic was off. So, anyways, the boss comes up and he's all pissed off at Brad Pitt, and basically is accusing him of treason. She gets out of the car and shoots herself in the head to basically clear him of treason and basically get rid of the problem. She kills herself, basically, like, take care of her kid, boom, kills herself.
All right.
And the movie ends with Brad Pitt taking care of their child out in some part of Canada or America or something. And the part that really got me in terms of rolling my eyes was that they have a ghostly presence of Marion Cotillard. Like, she fades in and dissolves, like in a ghostly special effect in a house, and she's reading a letter she's written to her child. And she's like, "My name is da-da-da-da-da, and I loved you ever since I gave birth to you." and da-da-da-da-da, and this is my real name. This is, and I was like, oh, God, they're going for a schmaltzy, crappy ending. And
Ooh.
And then that's
appropriate for this type of story, does it?
Not yes and no. I mean, it felt more Lifetime movie than it did at the end,
right?
Than it did what it was trying to do before. So, I guess my final verdict is that it might make for a good movie to recommend to your parents, specifically your mom, because she'd probably appreciate it maybe, but it's good filmmaking, it's good storytelling, but it just falls and deflates at the altar of schmaltz.
Okay. How similar is this to Aloha, the Cameron Crowe film? I think that was last year. I'm not sure. Was it?
No, that was that may have been 2 years ago actually, but Aloha doesn't compare. This is a better made film and a more interesting film. Aloha was like horribly edited, horribly written, horribly acted, horribly everything. Like it was a failure on a technical level as much as on a storytelling level.
Right. Okay.
You know,
So
it's like they go ahead.
what would you rate this film on the beer scale, on the movie boozer scale?
Probably 2 or 3 beers. Probably 3 beers.
Three, yeah, because this doesn't sound like two. I would give to something that I still enjoy that has flaws. You know, this seems kind of forgettable, but based on what I've heard about it, you know.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not. It just kind of leaves you, you know, at the end, like I said, deflated.
Right, right.
So there you go.
All right, so there was a movie that released last week called.
I wanted to see Bad Santa 2, even
Oh
though I knew that was going to
shit!
be a even though I know it was going to be a depressing scenario for me because I loved the first movie and I saw that one in theaters when it came out. And I didn't see Bad Santa 2, so I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably see it in a day or so. I don't know. We've been having some car. We
I'm
What?
sorry. I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. Like Bad Santa has been kind of a recurring topic on this
Yes,
show since we
yes.
started it, and now there's a sequel. So it's like, oh, Bad Santa 2. That looks like
It
straight
look
up garbage.
it looks like shit, doesn't
And
it?
I've seen so a few people have reviewed it already, which I think Will Ashton, who writes for us, has reviewed it already.
Okay.
I haven't heard a single good thing about Bad Santa 2, but
Hey, I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out for a second. No, I still can't hear you. Nope. No. You're just muted on my end. Like I can't hear anything. I'll check my headphones. Not my headphones. Let me see. This is like some behind the scenes special features shit. Hang on, let me check my volume. Well, my volume levels are good. Everything's good. Okay. Well, while we wait for Bill Leon to come back, shoot, what's there to talk about? We were discussing Bad Santa 2, so I guess it's a good time. Oh, hello? Hello? No, I can't hear you. Yeah, seriously, I can't hear you. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, unplug my headphones. No, nope. Oh, no, I can't hear you. Sorry. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, all right, good. All right. Well, until we can figure out the sound issue, and for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, my the sound, the microphone thing on the side of my avatar isn't lighting up on my end. So that's maybe it's something on my end. I don't know. I'm gonna sign out and then I'm gonna sign back in. All right. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. I keep adjusting my earbuds, but it's not that. Let me check the volume again. Maybe I turned it on mute. No, it's not on mute. I still can't hear you. No. Oh. All right, well, back to Bad Santa 2, everybody. I first saw Bad Santa 1 when it came out at a local movie theater in Slidell, Louisiana, on the North Shore of Lake Pontchartrain.
You got it.
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
He can hear me now. Hold up. I got the webcam on. How about now? Still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. We are ready to go. Who wants to go on first?
Who?
Timothy Horseman is coming on first. It's a new day. Yeah. I need to move it down a little bit.
It's a new day?
It's a new day. Look at that. How's everybody doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Woo! All right. That stopped, so let's do that. Hey, Best! Is Best ready?
Does New Day rock, Bill?
Day rocks. Rocks. New Day rocks. I hope they need to lose the title. We're not talking about this. We're about to get on the whole wrestling tangent. Next up, we got Josh Johnson. Greatness.
All wrestling is
Except for Bess.
I can't tell if I'm in the frame.
Look at Bess.
But hello.
Yeah, you are.
Hold up. Yeah, I'll tell you.
What's going on? Yeah.
Get out of Spotify. What's Spotify open for? Anyway.
There we go.
Where's Best?
Yo, Best. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Where's Best? Where is Best? All right. Fuck it. What do you know about the Harry Potter films?
I've seen a couple of them. I haven't seen them all, but I know that they are, for the most part, at least the early ones, are like fun, childish type films. I know.
Yeah, the first two.
The first two, at least, yeah. Then it starts to get into darker territory. The one thing I can say is I don't think if I had a kid, I would let them watch the first one. I don't think I would. It's just it was when I first saw it, I thought to myself, this would frighten a kid.
When's the last time you saw it? Because it's not that bad.
No, there's some scary images in it.
Yeah,
what scared me for a kid was when they were being chased by that monster in the bathroom.
Oh, the troll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the troll in the toilets. I was like, man, that's going to scare a kid off wanting to take a crap.
It could.
That scene in Look Who's Talking 2 where the toilet talks, that scared me more of sitting on the toilet than anything. Like
yeah, you would hear.
Give me that pee-pee! Give me that pee-pee!
That happens?
Jesus.
That happens in Look Who's Talking 2. Oh, yeah, that totally happens. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of, but also at the same time, like as an adult, that's part of why I like that movie. Like I will defend that movie because it has a fucking talking toilet with jagged teeth in it.
Well, in the first Look Who's Talking at the end, they suggest that the new baby, the daughter, is going to be voiced by Joan Rivers.
Ooh.
And in the second movie, she's not voiced by Joan Rivers. She's voiced by someone else. And
Isn't it Roseanne Barr?
it may have been Roseanne Barr. And while I like Roseanne, that kind of disappointed me because I like Joan Rivers just a little bit more.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think that would have been a funnier dynamic.
I'm not entirely sure who made that film, but Harry Potter scaring kids. That's the thing. The Harry Potter films is probably like one of the highest grossing financial franchises in films that we've had in the past 20 to like since Star Wars, really, right? Like,
yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah, they've made a lot of money.
Several billion, yes.
So before we went to go see this movie, I had expressed my cynicism, which was like, oh, they just put this together to make money. That's what this is. It's
Right,
like,
you said it was Pokemon.
I said it was Pokemon because the plot of the film has to do, we're talking about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I don't know if I actually formally put that out there what we're talking about, but yes, we are talking about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
Okay.
And there is a plot element of these monsters get out and we have to run around the city and catch them. But the title Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them refers to a book that was published. Do you know?
It was the book for the magical creatures
Right.
in Harry Potter.
My question to both of you, and I
the main
don't
character
know,
is the author of that book.
I don't know if either of you can answer this question, but what chronologically, when the books were being released, where does that fit in? Was it when they were finished, or did that come out in between?
This is
somewhere?
like almost, I don't know,
It was
earlier.
okay. It's
This
older.
takes like, that's their magical care for creatures book that they use.
That
I think.
book, as far as something you could go to Borders Books and publish, or
That's their
sorry,
textbook.
purchase.
In our world?
It's a
Yes.
textbook.
Yeah, that came out like I don't know when, after the second book or something.
Oh,
probably.
okay.
Early on.
Right. These guys like the Harry Potter books, which
Okay, this sounds to me like
I've read a few of them. I've read 1 through 3. I know that I've read 3, which those movies 1 through 3, I like them. They're real
Yeah.
solid.
I mean, 3's the best for sure.
I couldn't have read
Out of
those books fast enough just so I could read them again.
I think 4, the movie, has aged kind of poorly. What's this?
Uh-oh.
What's this?
We got a newcomer here.
Where am I? Am I on here?
Yeah, you're on there. What's up?
This is a terrible spot. You have to move this back some.
All right,
This
enough of
back-
that 182 bullshit.
There's nothing wrong with Blink 182. I mean, they're all right.
Yes.
Not now. The new
They, not now, but they were. They were okay, yeah.
talking about being 17 still.
We're still kind of talking about Harry Potter as a cultural phenomenon.
Okay.
Give me your what about like
What was that? Say it again.
that's how for the record, if you've ever listened to Harmontown, that's kind of how Dan Harmon talks sometimes. But Harry Potter. All right, Fantastic Beasts. Fuck it. I don't have anything else to say about the.
Well, let's talk about the original Harry Potter.
We've kind of done that
All
sort
right,
of.
Am
but
I
what do
coming
you-
in too late?
what do
Okay,
you
here's
have
the
to say?
thing.
What's your take
I
on
mean,
it?
it starts off light and a little childish and grows darker. Like, I think that's the intent kind of the series.
Yeah, and you're discovering it for the first time, which is the good thing about it. Harry's coming in not knowing anything about this world, and you kind of are Harry discovering the world, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And these characters are all young. Even Ron, who knows the world, he's still young, and he's also still discovering it. Fantastic Beasts had none of that. Fantastic Beasts, they're throwing you in with these characters that you don't care about.
I don't.
Right.
There was no
Right?
investment.
Eddie Redmayne.
I like Dan Fogler and Eddie Redmayne for the most part.
See, I didn't
both
like Eddie
of their
Redmayne.
characters and their performances have problems throughout, but for the most part, I like them.
I couldn't get invested in the characters
Does-
hardly
does-
at all.
Let me ask you: does Eddie Redmayne deserve an Oscar for this movie?
No. Don't
These
even say that.
these guys, I think I enjoyed the movie the most out of all of us, which is crazy because I think I was expecting to enjoy it the least. But so, Bill, I know that you are probably more familiar with Eddie Redmayne than these guys are.
Okay.
Watch The Theory of Everything?
Yeah.
Did you watch The Danish Girl?
No.
Okay, but I know that you've seen Jupiter Ascending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Eddie Redmayne, I described it in terms of what he does in
I'm
Fantastic
trying
Beasts.
to fit us all in. It's not
You
working.
know, you're like backing up into me.
I just want to be in the picture. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, have you guys seen Savage Grace with Julianne Moore and Eddie Redmayne?
No, I haven't seen that.
No? Okay. That's a movie based on a true story where a socialite played by Julianne Moore has sex with her son.
Jesus.
Played by Eddie Redmayne?
Eddie Redmayne, yeah. They have sex in the movie. Well, not real, but it's, that's what was supposed to have happened in real life. And every time I see Eddie Redmayne now, I can't, get rid of that thought in my head that he played a guy that had sex with his mom and killed her. Even though it was just a fictional or non-fictional performance, but even though it was, a movie, it's still I associate him with Innocence Lost. He's got this really messed up face to me. He doesn't look ugly, but he looks like an albino.
Well, he does this bashful, smiling.
He seems like a
He has
bumbling
a
idiot in
he-
every character.
He has a weird face.
Have you watched some of his movies since then?
Fear of Everything.
You watched Theory of Everything and Danish Girl?
Did not see Danish Girl.
Don't watch Danish Girl. Nobody should ever watch Danish Girl because
Yeah, I don't have any interest.
Yeah, nobody-
A lot of things.
it was nominated for a lot of things because Toby Hooper directed it. Is that his name, Toby Hooper?
No, you're thinking of the guy who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'm thinking of the genius behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist.
He should have directed The Danish Girl, yes.
What is the name of the guy who directed Les Mis?
Les Mis, which also starred Eddie Redmayne.
No, he's not in that.
Yeah, he is, I think.
I don't think he's in.
I think he played a member of the Resistance in that movie, yeah.
Maybe. You could be right. I don't remember.
I don't know. Believe it or not, Eddie Redmayne's been in a lot of movies, and even well before he became popular, if you can call it popular.
Toby somebody directed Les Mis and the Danish Girl.
Okay.
Les Mis. Tom Hooper? Is that his name?
You could be right. Yes, I don't think it's Toby. I think it's Tom or
Tom
something.
Hooper.
It's Toby Hooper.
Okay. Yeah, Toby Hooper.
Academy Award for
Just
Best
call him Toby
Actress.
from now on.
I should call him Toby Hooper, but that would get super confusing because that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. Anyway,
Okay.
Dan Fogler. What you guys think of Dan Fogler?
He was good. He was fine.
I thought he was charming. He did everything he could do. Granted, I feel like
But he was that character. He was the wacky friend
Uh-huh.
to Eddie Redmayne's kind of serious.
They did a lot of fatty boom boom jokes in this movie.
The Muggle.
There's a
Of
good
course.
half
Yeah, the
hour.
Muggle. He was the Muggle discovering the world. He was supposed to be that guy.
There's a good half hour of fat guy fall down jokes in Fantastic Beasts.
He's the Melissa McCarthy of this movie.
That's a good way to put it, right? He is the Melissa McCarthy of this movie.
Yeah.
That's a shame. I guess. I don't know. Wasn't Dane Fogler in that Christopher Walken
It doesn't
movie?
matter if he's chubby. He's that character. He's the wacky fall down guy. That's what he was. And he was also the guy who's out of the loop discovering
You
it.
need the comic relief.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it
what
can
wasn't
be done.
wasn't Dan Fogler?
This one character who's here for that.
Subtle Ways is a good. thing to say. Good way to put it.
I don't know if I can associate subtlety with Dan Fogler. Wasn't he in that Christopher Walken ping pong movie?
He was.
Balls of Fury, yeah.
He was better.
Balls of Fury, yeah.
He was good in this. He was good in this. David Yates, despite how problematic the scripts to these Harry Potter films have been, David Yates is a good director.
Okay, all right.
Am I wrong to say that? David Yates did Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, the directing was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have
The
a problem with
scripts
that.
to all of these films are problematic, though.
I couldn't tell you.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 to me is great.
I guess.
I mean, as far as the feelings I used to get in the books, it definitely kind of sold those feelings a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Especially,
part 1
like, in
and 2,
comparison-
because they had more time to flesh it out. It wasn't rushed.
Like to me,
whichever
like
other
in
movie is.
comparison to the books, the first couple books, they weren't as childish to me as the movies were.
Mhm.
But they definitely took the darker tone.
Well, the
So
movies are
later
selling
movies,
to a
just
wider
like
audience,
later
I think.
books. True, I mean, they're trying to get.
Yeah, they got to do what they got to do.
Mm-hmm.
They got to throw in that
But Eddie Red-
Pepsi logo.
I feel like it was just pandering to
The way
Potter.
I described Eddie Redmayne when we walked out of the theater was he's doing that bashful smile thing
Yeah.
too much.
He's
where
doing the Eddie
does it the
Redmayne
whole
face.
time.
Fumbling idiot.
he does it the whole
The dude,
It's the Eddie
dude's
Redmayne
got-
face.
Dude's got a locked fucking briefcase and can't keep shit in it. Like, he's an
Yeah.
idiot.
For those, I think from this point on, we're going to call spoilers. Eddie Redmayne's spoilers. So cut the video. Eddie Redmayne's
Okay.
case is a TARDIS because, like, you can climb inside of it, and it's this whole, fucking multiverse inside there.
He's basically got a miniature zoo down there with miniature ecosystems.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all kind of separated as if it was filmed in a big warehouse,
Yeah.
as if it was a big set, or like a movie set. Like, there's no real creativity to it other than there's certain parts where it's practical, but they're like the CGI, the amount of CGI that they used in this for the special effects started to drive me nuts.
Well,
at
they
a certain
have to.
point.
It's about magical creatures being it's ridiculous
I get
creatures
that,
of
and
the imagination.
It's a fucking Harry Potter spinoff, and the Harry Potter films rely too heavily on CGI, so they kind of set the precedent for that.
But they have to. That's
They
not,
didn't have to.
They did it. They
No,
did.
not
It's a Harry
exactly.
Potter movie. They're wizards.
I feel like they could have done it more
Magic
with
is
practical
happening.
effects.
Okay.
There's a lot of that stuff that just looks like CG. It doesn't look real. It
Don't
will
they have
never
any
look
60s?
real.
To be fair, it's kind of hard to do a real life or a practical troll. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Like,
some
I mean,
things
there's-
you have to do
I'm not
CG.
talking about the troll. I'm not talking about the troll. But that's a good point. I mean, I'm not talking about the creatures. That stuff is fine. Like, and the CG in these movies are not bad, but I felt like there could have been some more practical effects in them. All of them. Like, across the board, I feel kind of like that.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to do a Harry Potter movie without CG. I mean, they're shooting
Yes.
rays from their wand. Like, it has to be CG. You have to do it. There's no way to not do it. Speaking of
They're shooting wads from their wands.
Speaking of that, in this film, there was a period where I was just like, this is Force Lightning from the Star Wars prequels. That's
Literally,
all.
there's the scene.
Yeah.
There's the scene with him shocking Luke, holding his arm and everything.
There is so much Force Lightning in Fantastic Beasts, and they never say the names of the spells anymore, except for like when they need to remind you that they need to say the names of the
It's
spells.
just the well-known spells.
It's to
Well, that's
keep
the thing.
flow
That's,
going.
I mean, to
too.
be fair, that's the thing from the books. Once you get to a high enough level, you can do a spell without saying the
I'm
words.
not- I'm
I don't.
nitpicking. I'm
Yeah, I know.
nitpicking.
I felt it was pandering to my sense of Harry Potter.
There was.
That's exactly. I mean, listen, it's a cash grab. That's what they're doing.
What were some of the kind of deep cut references they snuck into this? Because they were mostly over my head, personally. Like whatever, just any kind of reference. Because
Yeah, I don't know. There weren't
They're
that many.
literally
I don't
just
think.
like name dropping.
Yeah, it's like
people from the
Hogwarts.
other
They
world.
mention Hogwarts. They mention
mentioned
Dumbledore.
But they
Yeah.
don't give you enough information to really learn anything about the characters. Like the main character, Eddie Redmayne's character, has some type of girlfriend that you see a picture of. He's somehow related
Lenny
to the
Kravitz's
Lestrange.
daughter.
He's somehow related.
Is that who that was?
That is who
Really?
that was. Yeah, she's in. What's her name? Zoe
Right?
Kravitz.
Didn't
Bill.
we have Lestrange?
Bill.
Yeah, it's Zoe Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz.
What movie is Zoe Kravitz in? What's she known for?
X-Men First Class. She played that butterfly girl.
Angel.
Class.
She's
Yes.
She played Angel.
Zoe Kravitz.
Wait, so her last name was Lestrange?
Yes.
I didn't pick that up.
Beatrix
drop.
Lestrange.
Name drop.
Yes, I
And
caught
what
on.
do
It
you
wasn't
what do you
Beatrix.
learn? What do you learn
No, but
about
I'm
her
saying
other
that's-
than the fact that
she's
it may have been
related
a
to
thing
her.
when he was at Hogwarts?
Bellatrix.
You didn't learn anything else
Bellatrix.
about the
Bellatrix
character.
Lestrange.
Getting so off track here.
Care about something. Yep, but I still do.
And then another female character brings her up, and he's just like, I don't want to talk about it. And it's just like, well, I guess I got to see the other movie.
So we're in
The
spoilers.
next 4 movies.
Spoil
that
the
we're gonna-
shit out of this movie. We're in spoiler territory.
wait.
Johnny
Biggest twist.
fucking Depp.
Biggest twist: Pirates of Azkaban, right there.
What's that?
Throws you the fuck off.
Pirates?
Pirates?
Did they reference Azkaban in this?
Prisoner?
No, I'm just trying to smash Johnny Depp and Harry Potter together.
Oh,
Pirates of
yeah.
Azkaban.
Oh.
Best was really hyped to talk about Harry Potter.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, Johnny Depp. I meant to say Johnny Depp, Harry Potter.
You just confused Harry Potter and Johnny Depp.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I would love to watch an entirely reshot version where Johnny Depp plays Harry Potter.
Johnny Potter.
Well, that's the thing is you already have Colin Farrell doing it. Why switch to Johnny Depp?
I thought it was the crazy
I don't
thing
get
is
it. Colin Farrell wasn't bad. I didn't dislike Colin
He's
Farrell.
supposed to be the main villain, yet somehow he's not very villainous.
And then at
you
the
find
very
yourself,
end-
like agreeing with some of the shit he's saying.
Yeah. And then at the very end, they're like, nope, it's not Colin Farrell. It's Johnny Depp. For what reason?
Explanations are due here. Colin Farrell is in this film. He's
Grindelwald.
probably in what,
He's
like
Johnny Depp.
45% of the movie?
He's in like 45 seconds.
No,
No, he's
no.
more than that.
Johnny Depp?
Johnny
Oh,
Depp.
I
No.
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right, yeah.
Johnny
Grindelwald, the character of Grindelwald.
It's revealed. The big twist at the end of the movie is that Colin Farrell's character is actually Johnny Depp. He was using a charm or a
He was
spell.
disguised as Colin Farrell, but he was Johnny Depp.
And
So is
somehow
this Colin?
for some reason.
That's weird. Yeah.
You just knew that he was hiding something, so he put a reveal spell on him just because he
Yeah.
was like, I know this isn't him. But at the same time, Colin Farrell's like a foreboding character the entire time, yet he doesn't do anything exactly too bad. The main villain is like some type of fucking repressed magical spirit or some dumb shit like that.
Emo boy.
Emo boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers.
There's an emo boy. We're in spoilers. We're in spoiler territory. There's an emo boy who has the
Little
ability
emo.
to like turn into a big
Little emo
death
boy.
tornado.
Uh huh.
It looks like a hive of beasts, like a
What's his
big
name?
ass fucking swarm.
I don't remember what his name was, and I don't remember
Exactly.
like
There you go. That's
this
how
shit was
memorable
super.
these
Yeah,
characters are.
this whole thing was kind of forgettable as
What?
a whole, except for
Yeah, it was very forgettable.
the main characters were memorable.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like.
what was Colin Farrell's
Even
character?
that though, the love interest, the girl, the failed Auror. Do you remember anything about her character besides that?
Anybody? What's the main
What's her-
character's name?
Newt.
Newt Charmander.
No, Scamander.
I know what his name is, but call him Newt Charmander.
Scamander.
I've
Lead
been.
actress?
Newt Commander. Newt
I don't
Commander.
remember
Isn't
her
that?
character's name?
Isn't Newt Commander a Cobra Kai GI Joe character? No. Okay. All right.
That's funny. I laughed.
Okay.
The thing about this movie, I don't care about any of these characters. Eddie Redmayne to me is so not charismatic. People talk about how charismatic he is, and I just don't see it. He's just this odd face that he makes. And he does all the time.
Talking about the bashful face.
Yes, he does it throughout the entire movie.
Oh.
I haven't seen very
He
many
does
of
it
his
a lot.
movies, but like I just don't care. I'm not
You,
invested.
you've got to watch him. You've got to watch him in Jupiter Ascending, where he literally eats scenery.
Yeah. He's great in Jupiter.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I would like to.
Well, I don't know if I would call him great in that movie.
I tried to put on Winter's Tale for some of these guys the other day, and the thing about Winter's Tale is that you kind of have to pay attention to pick up all the exposition that they throw at you.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't have to pay attention to that movie because everything in it is like silly.
Maybe
you can laugh at it.
Maybe I'll just go for it then. Maybe I'll just
Just go for it. Yeah, we've talked about Winter's Tale on this show before, like Russell Crowe and
Winter's Tale to death on this show.
Yeah.
I don't know what Winter's Tale is.
Winter's Tale is that
That
movie.
animated
No, that's that movie I put on where the horse jumped over the fence.
Oh, I wanted to finish watching that. Everyone else is complaining. I think we ended up watching something no one really watched.
We watched Gremlins too, and me and Josh loved it.
Yeah, Bess wanted to turn it off.
Everyone went to bed.
Everyone went to bed. Which would have happened if I kept Winter's Tale on as well. However, the ending of this film does this thing where Harry Potter decided to get real Marvel Comics, and they were like, we need to destroy the city at the end of this movie.
Oh.
Harry Potter is, this is Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling wrote this screenplay.
But it's not Harry Potter. Like, it's like a completely different thing to me. Like, it's the same world. It's just not.
It's almost like some Doctor Strange thing. Where
the whole reason he goes to America is to bring a fucking flying boat back and take it back to its home in fucking Arizona, which he never gets to.
Well, that's part two.
He releases it in New York City to drop some fucking
Fantastic Beasts and where to release them.
Like, none of the shit made sense. Like, literally, it just felt like they were making up shit just so it could go. I don't know.
It's a cash grab. It's what
it's literally, I mean, yeah, of course it's made up, but at the same time, it's just like, wow, you couldn't have thought of a better way to get rid of this whole thing than making it rain. You just release a bird with a potion.
Oh, God. The ending to this movie.
Yeah. And then they stretch the thing out for fucking ever. Like, just end the movie.
It's very comparable. It's very.
I was so ready for it to be over.
You cannot help but compare it to Return of the King, which does that, where it's like
it drags on.
There's like 5 or 6 different scenes in a row that feel like the last scene, and like the credits are about to roll, but each one kind of bleeds into the other one, where you're like, "We're not done.
They're about 4 or 5.
We're not done.
4 or 5.
We're not done."
Yeah, it's like the Johnny Depp reveal, which is supposed to be the end.
Johnny Depp looking like Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit. This bleach blonde hair. Yes.
Jim Carrey acted in a movie. It was a book based, and it was.
Oh God, that's about to be on Netflix.
A series of unfortunate events.
A series of unfortunate events.
That guy.
Have you guys seen the trailers for the new Netflix series of unfortunate events? Patrick Warburton plays Lemony Snicket. He's the narrator. Neil Patrick Harris plays Count Olaf, the character that Jim Carrey played. It literally looks like they tried to make it better, because I've watched a series of unfortunate events, and every time that like something cool or creative is about to happen, Jim Carrey pops up and just mugs to the camera and makes these terrible jokes, and it's like, oh God, what happened?
Well, I've never read the book of that. I don't know what it's supposed to be like.
I've never
seen the movie.
I've never seen the movie.
I was gonna pull it up.
I just thought he looked like him.
There's actually 2 great trailers out that Netflix has put out. One of which is mainly like Patrick Warburton talking to the camera as Lemony Snicket promoting the thing. This stuff is better than Harry Potter. I don't even give a fuck what the fucking Series of Unfortunate Events series on Netflix is going to be like, but it looks like they put more effort into the writing than they did with the Fantastic Beasts movie. I'm just fucking pulling that out of my ass, but that's how I feel about it, because Fantastic Beasts felt like such a cash grab. Like, we need to keep Harry Potter going. Warner Brothers just lost a fucking shit ton of money, Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad, that they're like,
Batman vs. Superman.
What do we got? What do we got? Put the money into it. Don't cut a scene. Don't edit this, except for to put it in order. Put it out there. Let's J.K. Rowling write that script.
Except put it in order. I like that.
Put it in order, the order chronologically that it goes with the script, and it doesn't matter. Don't cut a thing.
I want to watch this man standing in the rain for 10 minutes.
Oh my God, they had this Shawshank shot in this movie where Dan Fogler's standing in the rain going like this. Ah!
Here, you want me to hold it?
Hold up, yeah, give me on there. Ah, it's raining and I'm losing my memory.
Let's do the pull out.
Ah!
It's not bad.
That was great. That was fantastic. Fantastic shots.
It
and
took,
how
it
to
took
film
forever
them.
just to get to that scene.
Fantastic shots.
It was already raining for 10 minutes before we even walked out into the rain.
Oh boy! And then there were like 3 additional scenes after that. Like the movie should have ended before we watched 5 minutes of rubble rebuilding itself, which was infinitely cooler when it was in the background of a fight scene in Doctor Strange. Just saying. Just fucking saying. That's kind of weird, right? That these films came out 2 weeks apart from each other and they both kind of have fucking buildings being reversely put back together. I don't know. Conspiracy.
It's an alt-right conspiracy.
It is absolutely some Nazi shit going on.
That's all Hollywood is.
So, Bad Santa 2 is released. Is it out right now?
Yeah, it's out right now.
Let's go see Bad Santa 2 tomorrow, guys.
No.
No.
I haven't even seen the first one.
You haven't ever seen Bad Santa?
No.
What? Bad Santa?
You should see the first one. You should.
It's like on Comedy Central sometimes.
Don't watch it. Yeah, you got to see it uncut.
Yeah.
Love it.
And even then, there's like an unrated cut that has more stuff. I don't know.
Well, I'll wait a few weeks and watch it for Christmas.
I've watched it on Netflix, which is like the
It
regular.
doesn't even have to be a Christmas movie.
There's too many good Christmas
We can
movies.
watch the Santa
It even
series.
spans multiple Christmases.
We'll watch Bad Santa. We'll watch the Santa Claus 1, Santa Claus 2.
Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause.
Home Alone.
Is that right?
Home Alone. Get the Home
National
Alones.
Lampoon.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Classic.
What about Santa Claus the movie?
Santa Claus the movie is actually really super awesome.
Santa Claus.
I like Santa Claus the movie.
Shitty one.
Oh, that one with the devil in it.
They're
Yeah.
like
the Mystery Science Theater
the
episode.
Spanish one.
What about Krampus?
Haven't seen Krampus.
Neither have I. I plan
like
on
to.
watching that.
Yeah.
Justin,
That's very good.
When's a
Krampus
burger?
is very good.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, what the fuck?
Adam Scott's in
I
it.
didn't even know
handling
you
a
were planning on
serious
coming
role.
back.
Sorry.
It seems
No,
serious.
you're
I
good.
watched like 10 minutes of it.
I thought Krampus was good.
Yeah.
Krampus.
There are a lot of good people
It's a
involved.
film
so-
people like. Anyway.
That's a good advertisement, Bill. Krampus. It's a film that people like.
Krampus. It's a film for the holidays that people enjoy. Ooh, people are slamming up those stairs. I bet my mic's picking up all of that.
Damn.
So, this has been a very impromptu, fucking grassroots public.
Grassroots. Yes, this has been the Jill Stein of public access Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, this was fun. I mean, I just wish my MacBook was working better, but
Right.
but other than that, I mean, I can jerry rig my phone, and that's fine.
Tomorrow, if anybody sees this in the next few hours, Mystery Science Theater Turkey Day Marathon is going live.
Yep, absolutely.
And I will be trying to tune into as much of that as I can. But on top of that, at noon tomorrow, they are launching another Every Simpsons Ever marathon on FXX.
Yep, they're
Which-
doing it.
I am also trying to tune into as much as possible. It depends.
You could probably watch both at the same time. Just put FXX on TV and go to shoutfactorylive.com.
Right. And I'm looking forward to it. You doing anything crazy for Thanksgiving tomorrow? Anything out of the ordinary?
Not really. I mean, I got 2 turkey breasts that we're going to cook.
There you go.
One is Cajun seasoned, so that's, I mean, we would have asked.
Southern style.
Well, yeah, of course. We probably could have added the Cajun seasoning to it anyways, but this comes pre-seasoned, so that's good. We're gonna make mac and cheese. We're gonna make spinach and artichoke dip. I think that's about it. We might make something else. We're keeping it pretty simple this year. So yeah, I can't think of anything. I think my brother's gonna take my dad to go see Allied. My brother's a big World War II fanatic. You know, he's big on anything related to World War II. So I think he's going to take my dad to see that. And maybe I'll watch The Greasy Strangler again. I don't know.
There's always that.
While drinking gravy.
I might do
gravy.
that tonight. I'm not going to drink gravy while I watch it, but I might do that tonight. We'll see, because it's definitely it's this weird phenomenon of like. Especially in our circle of people kind of falling in love with this movie.
Yeah, it's really taken. It's weird how it started. Like I saw it, and then Zach had like a little episode, and we wanted to make him happy, so we played the movie for him, and you guys got hooked, and then Ken got hooked, and that's the story.
Covered in horse shit.
Bullshit artist.
Aside, is there anything coming out next week that we should be talking about? Like anything big?
Oh goodness! I know in a couple weeks, Rogue One, a Star Wars story is coming out.
That's December. Yeah. I'm talking about
Oh, you're talking about?
I'm talking about still in November.
As far as I know, not really. I mean, I honestly can't think of anything. I'll have to look it up.
Well, we might as well throw out kind of a recommendation or a streaming thing.
Okay. I'll go first, I guess. I will recommend people watch Superstore on Hulu.com.
That has Mark McKinney in it, and I am not only a big-time Kids in the Hall fan, but a big fan of, and I'm going to recommend this to you. I don't know where the best place to view it is, but Mark McKinney, who I know acts on Superstore, wrote and acted in a show called Slings and Arrows about a Shakespeare Theater Company that the guy who runs it is haunted by his old mentor as a ghost. And it's really wonderful. I absolutely adore Slings and Arrows. I absolutely adore Kids in the Hall. Mark McKinney. I've been meaning to actually sit down and watch an episode of Superstore, but
it's pretty good. I mean, it's got some. The second season's definitely much better than the first season. Which most shows you can say that about. Like it just picks up better in the second season. Mark McKinney's great in it. He plays the boss of the store, of the department store. America Ferrera plays like an assistant manager type. She's kind of a bitch in this show, like almost irredeemable. In my opinion, but that kind of makes her character a little interesting because, it's like, is she going to get better? There's a lot of quirkiness going on. There's a lot of, it's not like The Office where it's done in documentary style. This is done, pretty straightforward. But it's got a good heart to it, I would say. And Mark McKinney is great in it.
Okay. And last but not least, and I will try to make this as brief as possible. Let's talk about that less than 2 minute long Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar match that happened on Survivor Series
this past Sunday. That shocked the shit out of me when it happened. Because I was reading the dirt sheets like NoDQ.com, WrestleView.com, stuff like that, and they were predicting Brock was going to win. It was probably going to be a pretty even match. And it was going to be fun, but more than likely Brock was going to win because Goldberg was only signed for one match. And then when the match happened, it's literally just exactly how you wanted it to come out. You wanted Goldberg to just fucking bust loose.
Basically,
yeah. And it's basically Brock coming into it cocky, and then Goldberg pushing him down, spearing him twice, and then giving him a jackhammer.
Him making that face, I was just like... That's kind of the moment where I was like, what is happening right now? This is wild. The fact that WWE can still shock us is awesome. It's awesome, and God, it's this is why I stopped watching back a few years ago, because they lost that at some point. They stopped shocking you. They
actually did Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania 20. That was actually Brock's last match until he came back, a couple years ago, and it was also Goldberg's last match until Survivor Series. And both guys were leaving the company the next day, and so the crowd shat on the match. And subsequently, the wrestlers, Goldberg and Lesnar, just didn't have their heart into it, so they just kind of gave a half-ass match. It was really unfortunate and disappointing, but this match, which you can't even really call a match because Brock didn't really get any moves in, was extremely more compelling and awesome to watch than that one. Because it was like, whoa, like, holy crap. It was like an atomic bomb being dropped or something,
Right, yeah.
It was really fun.
So that's where that is. I think this is a good opportunity to sign off.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving to all our listeners.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy holidays. Happy, if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, just happy life. Because there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world. There's a lot to be sad about. So let's try to be happy. Let's enjoy life.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, all right. You guys have a good night.